Have you ever wondered whether the information you consume every day is actually making you wiser, or just reinforcing the beliefs you already hold? It's strange, isn't it? We live in a time where knowledge surrounds us, floating in every timeline, every notification, every headline we skim past. Yet somehow, we've never felt more intellectually disconnected. We've traded curiosity for convenience, reflection for reaction, and depth for the dopamine hit of instant certainty. Critical thinking, once the backbone of intellectual life, has quietly slipped into the background, not gone, just forgotten. For centuries, it was our greatest survival tool. It helped us see through deception, interpret complexity, and understand the world beyond the surface. It wasn't just a skill, it was a way of living, a discipline, a ritual, a way of honoring your own mind. But in today's world, deep thinking feels like a lost art. Most people don't sit with ideas anymore. They scroll past them. They don't wrestle with questions. They prefer ready-made answers. And they don't analyze information. They let algorithms curate their truth for them. In a digital age built for speed, the slow and deliberate act of thinking has become a radical choice. To understand how far we've drifted, we need to look back, far back, to where critical thinking began. Imagine ancient Athens, a simple marketplace. People gathered not to shop, but to argue, to question, to challenge ideas with ideas. Socrates stood among them, doing something revolutionary. He asked questions that made people uncomfortable, not to embarrass them, but to free them. His philosophy was built on a simple premise. You cannot know the truth if you never question your own assumptions. This method, the Socratic method, planted the first seeds of what we now call critical thinking. His student, Plato, expanded these ideas into entire systems of thought. Aristotle took it further, turning critical thinking into a structured discipline, logic, a framework that would guide scientific reasoning for centuries. Later came the Enlightenment, the age of reason. Thinkers like Descartes, Locke, and Kant began asking larger questions. How do we know what is true? How do we separate knowledge from belief? How can reason free society from superstition? Critical thinking didn't just shape philosophy. It shaped revolutions, governance, science, morality, the very structure of civilization. Our progress. Every medical advancement, every technological breakthrough, every shift in society is rooted in one fundamental habit: humans learning to question the world rather than simply accept it. That's the lineage we come from. But somewhere along the way, we stopped inheriting it. Here's where things become uncomfortable. We are living through a slow, almost invisible collapse of deep thinking. Not because we've become less intelligent, but because the modern world no longer rewards reflection. Think about it. When was the last time you sat with a difficult idea, without checking your phone, without switching apps, without drifting into distraction? Today, information comes faster than we can process it. Social media pushes content designed not to enlighten, but to entertain. The rise of clickbait and short-form content favors speed over depth, emotion over accuracy, and reaction over reflection. We are drowning in information, yet starving for meaning. And because everything is designed to be consumed quickly, we never linger long enough to think deeply. The mind adapts to the environment it lives in. If your environment is built on constant stimulation, your mind begins to reject everything that feels slow. Deep thinking becomes uncomfortable. And anything uncomfortable is avoided. Schools teach students what to think, not how to think. Workplaces reward output, not insight. Online platforms amplify outrage while silencing nuance. Slowly, without noticing, society drifts toward mental shallowness. People know more, but understand less. Feel more, but reflect less. Consume more, but contemplate less. And the tragedy is, most people don't even realize it's happening. Now let's talk about the invisible force shaping your thoughts. Every single day, the algorithm dot, it's subtle, it's personalized, and it's designed to keep you from thinking too deeply. Algorithms operate on one principle: give people what keeps them engaged, not what challenges them, not what educates them, not what expands their worldview, just what keeps them scrolling. This creates digital echo chambers, invisible bubbles where you only see opinions that mirror your own. Over time, your mind becomes conditioned to expect similarity. You lose the ability to tolerate opposing views. New ideas feel threatening instead of interesting. Headlines become shorter because our attention spans demand it. Content becomes louder because nuance doesn't trend. Opinions become simplified because complexity feels like friction. And without noticing it, we become prisoners, not of technology, but of our own mental convenience. The algorithm isn't the villain. Our passivity is. Because when we stop choosing what we consume, we stop choosing how we think. Here's the hopeful part. Critical thinking isn't dead. It's simply dormant. And waking it up is easier than you think. You don't need to read philosophy textbooks. You don't need to unplug from society. You don't need to become a monk or a minimalist or a scholar. You just need to start making deliberate choices about how you think. Read deeply, even if it's just 10 pages a day. Ask questions, even if they lead to uncomfortable answers. Challenge your assumptions, especially the ones you're most certain about. Pause before reacting, especially when something triggers you emotionally. Create small pockets of silence, spaces where your mind can breathe. Critical thinking isn't an intellectual luxury. It's mental self-defense. It's how you protect your mind from noise, manipulation, and mindless consumption. It's how you reclaim your ability to see clearly in a world built to distract you. Because once you start thinking for yourself again, you become dangerous. Not to others, but to the systems that profit from your inattention. And that is the first step toward escaping the hollow pursuit of greatness. From the moment we enter the world, a silent script is handed to us. Be ambitious. Be exceptional. Be someone. It doesn't matter where you grow up. The message is the same. Your worth is measured by your achievements, not by your character, not by your clarity, not by your inner peace, but by how high you climb and how fast you get there. This myth is woven into childhood. We're rewarded for winning, punished for falling behind, praised for results, and rarely guided toward meaning. The world teaches us to chase greatness long before we understand what fulfillment even feels like. It's not your ambition. It's a borrowed hunger. And like any hunger that isn't truly yours, it never stops demanding more. Somewhere along the journey, ambition evolved into something else, a belief system, a quiet religion. Its commandments are simple. Work harder, move faster, stay busy, never stop. In this worldview, rest becomes weakness. Stillness becomes laziness. Taking time to breathe feels like falling behind. Productivity isn't just a habit anymore. It becomes an identity. You stop being a person and start becoming a machine. We optimize our days like algorithms. Every hour must be justified. Every task must serve a purpose. Every moment must produce something. But here's the paradox. The more we worship productivity, the less productive we feel. There's always another task undone, another milestone missed, another reason to believe you're not doing enough. The tragedy isn't that we work hard. Hard work can be meaningful. The tragedy is that we've replaced meaning with motion. We've confused living with achieving. Ambition tells a seductive story. If you achieve more, you will finally feel enough. But look closer. Ambition often hides something darker, a quiet fear of inadequacy. We chase big goals not always because they inspire us, but because the alternative terrifies us. Being ordinary, being unseen, being average in a world obsessed with extraordinary. So we strive. We compete. We push our limits. And the world praises us for it, even as we silently drain ourselves. But ambition has a cruel twist. The more you achieve, the higher the bar rises. Your past victories become your new baseline. Your accomplishments turn invisible the moment they're completed. Your mind moves the finish line before you ever reach it. Suddenly, success feels less like fulfillment and more like pressure. Anxiety replaces excitement. Stress replaces inspiration. Fear replaces curiosity. You don't chase goals anymore. You run from the feeling of not being enough. And ambition becomes less of a dream and more of a cage. If ambition is the fire, comparison is the oxygen that keeps it burning. And today, comparison is everywhere. You see someone your age earning more, someone your age traveling more, someone your age getting fitter, richer, happier, more successful. There's always someone ahead of you. And social media lets you watch their highlight reel on repeat. Your life feels slower. Your path feels smaller. Your progress feels meaningless. But here's the truth nobody tells you. You are comparing your private struggles to someone else's filtered victories. Ambition becomes toxic when it stops being about growth and starts being about competition. Not, what do I want? But what are others doing? Not, what feels right for me? But what makes me look successful? And in that shift, we lose ourselves. We stop walking our own path. We start climbing a ladder that never ends. A ladder built by other people's expectations. Ambition is not inherently bad. It becomes destructive when it consumes the parts of you that matter most. When you sacrifice your relationships for progress. When you lose your curiosity in the pursuit of certainty. When you trade peace for pressure, meaning for milestones, identity for achievement. Greatness, as society defines it, has a hidden cost. It requires you to abandon the very things that make life worth living. Ambition tells you, become someone great, but rarely does it ask. Become someone grounded, become someone honest, become someone whole. And without those qualities, greatness becomes hollow. At the end of this chapter, the viewer is left with a quiet realization. Perhaps the soul is not destroyed by failure, but by success that costs too much. Perhaps the real danger is not in dreaming big, but in chasing dreams that aren't yours. And perhaps the pursuit of greatness is not the problem, but the definition of greatness itself. It's one of the most confusing experiences a person can have. You work for something. You dream about it. You plan for it. You push yourself beyond limits you didn't know existed. And then you finally achieve the goal. But instead of feeling whole, you feel something else. Something unexpected. Something you don't talk about publicly. Emptiness. It's a quiet, unsettling realization that success didn't deliver the transformation you imagined. It didn't heal you. It didn't validate you. It didn't fill the void you thought it would. Instead, the moment passes faster than you expected, replaced not with satisfaction, but with a faint whisper. Is this all? This is where Chapter 3 begins, with the uncomfortable truth that success often feels hollow, not because the achievement is meaningless, but because the expectations we place upon it are impossible for any external reward to fulfill. To understand this emptiness, we need to explore a psychological principle called the hedonic treadmill, the idea that humans rapidly adapt to positive changes, returning to the same baseline level of happiness. In simple terms, you get what you want, and then quickly stop feeling excited about it. It's not your fault. It's biology. Your brain is wired to normalize anything you acquire: the job, the income, the relationship, the achievement. What once felt extraordinary becomes ordinary. What once felt impossible becomes standard. What once thrilled you becomes routine. This is why success fades so quickly. It's why new goals always appear. It's why ambition never ends. You're not addicted to achievement. You're addicted to the feeling that achievement used to give you. And because that feeling fades, you chase bigger, harder, more extreme goals, hoping for a high that never lasts. The treadmill keeps moving. You keep running, and the destination stays out of reach. Asterisk. Here's where the emptiness deepens. Most people don't realize that ambition isn't just about achieving things. It's about constructing an identity. You define yourself by your progress. The student, the athlete, the professional, the entrepreneur, the achiever. And when you achieve something, that identity cracks, because if you are defined by your goals, who are you once those goals are completed? It's an identity crisis disguised as accomplishment. This is why successful people often feel directionless. Why finishing a major project leads to a strange emotional crash. Why hitting a milestone makes you feel empty instead of proud. Ambition gives purpose. Achievement removes it. And unless your identity is grounded in something deeper than your accomplishments, success becomes emotionally destabilizing. Another piece of the emptiness is social. People celebrate you when you're climbing, when you're striving, when you're chasing something big. But after you achieve it, the applause stops. The messages slow down. The praise fades. The excitement disappears. What you're left with is silence. And in that silence, you're forced to face yourself. Without the noise of pursuit, without the adrenaline of progress, without the world telling you who you're supposed to become, you confront the truth. You never learned how to just be. You mastered striving. You mastered achieving. But you never mastered existing. And that's why the silence feels so heavy. It exposes everything ambition kept you busy enough to ignore. Ambition comes with a cost, an emotional debt that accumulates quietly. Every sacrifice, every sleepless night, every friendship neglected, every moment of joy postponed until later, every part of yourself you suppress to stay on the path. Those things don't disappear. They collect interest. And when you finally reach the finish line, the bill arrives. This is the moment successful people rarely talk about. The moment when the emotional weight of the journey catches up to you. You realize you didn't just achieve your goals. You paid for them. With time, with energy, with relationships, with mental health, with pieces of your identity you'll never fully recover. Sometimes the emptiness isn't about the achievement. It's about the cost you had to pay to get there. There comes a moment, and it happens to everyone, where the truth hits you. You climbed the mountain, only to realize it wasn't your mountain. Maybe it was society's. Maybe it was your parents'. Maybe it was fear, insecurity, or ego dressed up as ambition. But it wasn't yours. And now you're standing at the top of a peak you never needed to be on, feeling more lost than when you started. This is the most terrifying moment of all, because it means the road ahead is no longer about achievement, but about honesty. Not what should I accomplish, but what actually matters to me. Not who should I become, but who am I when I stop trying to impress anyone. This chapter ends with a quiet, enduring truth. Emptiness is not a failure. It is a signal, a message from the soul whispering, "This path isn't feeding me," and you can only ignore that whisper for so long. Asterisk, for most of our lives, we chase things we assume will fulfill us. Success, recognition, financial security, status, admiration. These desires are not wrong, but they are incomplete. We expect them to feed us emotionally, to anchor us, to give us meaning. But the soul doesn't speak the language of achievement. It speaks the language of alignment, of living in harmony with who you actually are. And when your outer life grows louder than your inner world, something inside begins to starve. Most people don't realize they're starving. They just feel restless, uncertain, disconnected, as if something essential is missing. They think they need bigger goals, more discipline, more ambition, more grinding. But what they're really missing isn't more. It's depth. Asterisk human beings can survive almost anything, except meaninglessness. When your life lacks direction, not the career direction you tell people about, but the personal, interior direction, everything feels heavier. The days blur together. Achievements lose flavor. Progress stops feeling like growth and starts feeling like motion without purpose. Meaning doesn't come from what you do. Meaning comes from why you do it. A small, humble life rooted in purpose will always feel richer than a grand life built on emptiness. Most people never ask the deeper questions. What do I care about when no one is watching? What values do I actually live by? What kind of person do I admire? And am I becoming that person? These questions scare people because they reveal how far ambition can pull us away from ourselves. But meaning only grows where truth is planted. A soul cannot thrive in isolation. Even the most ambitious, self-reliant, disciplined individuals need connection, real connection, not transactional relationships based on status or usefulness. We need people who understand us, people who challenge us, people who see us beyond the image we project, people who remind us that we are human, not machines. Modern life makes connection optional. Ambition makes it inconvenient. Success makes it easy to forget. But nothing destroys the soul faster than loneliness disguised as independence. You can have everything, the money, the influence, the achievements, and still feel profoundly empty if no one truly knows you. Connection doesn't weaken you. It roots you. It reminds you of your humanity when ambition tries to turn you into a performance. Asterisk. There's a reason ancient philosophers insisted on one command above all others. Know thyself. Because without self-awareness, you become a stranger living your own life. You make choices that don't belong to you. You follow paths that weren't meant for you. You end up achieving things you don't even want. Self-awareness is the courage to ask, what actually energizes me? What drains me, no matter how impressive it looks? Who am I when I stop performing? The soul doesn't need more success. It needs more honesty. You cannot live a meaningful life if you are not in conversation with yourself. This is the most overlooked need of all. Peace is not laziness. Peace is not stagnation. Peace is not giving up. Peace is the state where your mind and your life stop fighting each other. It's the moment when your ambitions align with your values, when your goals no longer contradict your well-being, when the noise inside you quiets enough for you to hear your own intuition. Peace doesn't mean doing nothing. Peace means doing the right things, things that nourish you instead of draining you, things that build your life instead of your image. Ambition tends to ask, what can I achieve? The soul asks, what allows me to breathe? And until you answer that question, nothing you achieve will ever feel like enough. There comes a point in every person's life where ambition burns out. Not because you lose passion, but because you finally see the truth. You've been running so fast that you never had the chance to ask where you were going. This moment, this stillness, is not failure. It's the beginning of clarity. The moment your mind stops sprinting, your soul begins to speak, and what it says is simple. Come home. Come back to who you were before the world told you what to be. Before ambition overshadowed authenticity. Before comparison drowned your intuition. This chapter is about that homecoming, the quiet, powerful journey of returning to yourself. You cannot heal a life lived at full speed. The first step in finding yourself is not action. It's slowing down. Silence isn't empty. Silence is information. It's where the truth rises to the surface, where suppressed questions return, where buried desires reappear, where clarity finally becomes possible. People fear slowing down because they think it will make them fall behind. But slowing down is not falling behind. That it's stepping off a race you never needed to run. The world rewards speed, but the soul rewards awareness. And you cannot rebuild your life until you learn to hear your inner voice again. Most people don't lack discipline. They lack direction that actually belongs to them. To find yourself, you must redefine what success means. Not the version handed to you by society, or your parents, or your fears, or your ego, but your version. Ask yourself, what makes a day feel meaningful to me? What kind of life feels peaceful, not impressive? What values matter more than accolades? What would I pursue if no one ever knew about it? When you redefine success, your ambitions transform. They become softer, but stronger. Less about proving something, more about experiencing something. And for the first time, your goals begin to nourish you instead of depleting you. Ambition asks you to sacrifice, but rebuilding asks you to reclaim. Reclaim curiosity, the part of you that explored without needing results. Reclaim relationships, the ones that mattered long before status did. Reclaim joy, the kind that doesn't need productivity to justify itself. Reclaim peace, the version of you that felt whole without winning anything. You don't become yourself by adding more. You become yourself by returning to what mattered before ambition complicated everything. Rebuilding your inner world is not about rejecting achievement. It's about creating a life where your achievements do not replace your humanity. The world glorifies grand pursuits, massive goals, massive dreams, massive achievements. But the soul rarely needs something massive. Most of the time, it needs something true. A path that looks small from the outside, but feels honest from the inside. A life that may never impress the world, but quietly fulfills you. This is the paradox. Greatness that comes from ego destroys the soul. Greatness that comes from alignment heals it. The path back to yourself is not dramatic. It is not loud. It will not earn applause. It's built from small, consistent choices that honor who you really are. And those choices eventually form something more valuable than success. Integrity. Integrity with your values. Integrity with your energy. Integrity with your identity. The journey back to yourself is not the end of ambition. It's the evolution of it. You stop chasing a life that impresses people and start building a life that fulfills you. You stop striving to be someone extraordinary and start choosing to be someone whole. And slowly, without forcing it, you become something rare, a human being in alignment, a person who moves with intention, someone whose life makes sense from the inside. This is where peace lives. This is where meaning grows. This is where the hollow pursuit of greatness ends, and the authentic pursuit of a life worth living begins.